I toured the Nevada State Capitol, and then I headed to California, which was my most adventurous trip yet, but more on that in the next video. In this video, I'm going to give you my trip commentary and then show you what it looks like inside of and outside the Nevada State Capitol. First off, the Nevada State Capitol is located in Carson City, Nevada, so I took a plane into Reno from Atlanta, Georgia. Carson City is about 30 miles south of Reno, so the drive is only about 30 minutes. Carson City's population was about 60,000 in 2021, while Reno's population was about 270,000 in 2021. As a comparison, Las Vegas was more than twice Reno's population at roughly 650,000, which makes it more than 10 times larger than Carson City. I have no idea why some of these capital cities don't grow as fast as their neighboring cities. Anyway, this was my first time in Reno, Nevada, and I had no idea that it's essentially a mini Las Vegas. Meaning it has a vibrant nightlife, strip clubs, plenty of casinos where you can lose your money, and even the world's famous Bunny Ranch in Lyon County nearby. More on that later in this video. I guess Las Vegas just has better marketing. Regardless, the state of Nevada gets the taxes all the same. When I walked through the Reno airport, I was surprised to see so many slot machines. It immediately felt like I was in the Las Vegas airport. The weather was pretty cold, maybe in the 30 degrees Fahrenheit range, but I walked out of the airport, picked up my rental car, and headed out to the State Bridge Suites to check in. The mountain view from the hotel was amazing. The drive to Carson City from Reno was smooth and easy. I took Interstate 580 and the mountain-covered skylines welcomed me. I had to drive over a few bridges that earlier in the day were closed because of the snow. It was just my luck that the snow had cleared, otherwise I had no idea how I would have gotten to Carson City. I enjoyed driving in silence as I looked in awe at all the snow-covered mountains and the vast snow-covered plains. There were lots of altitude shifts on the road, but my small rented sedan took them without a fight. Eventually, I merged off the interstate and made it to the small western town of Carson City. Much like the small city of Montgomery, Alabama, there were almost no skyscrapers in view. In fact, I don't think I saw any. I think the Capitol was the tallest building in the area. Anyway, I pulled up into the Capitol parking lot, found a place to park among all the snow piles, and headed out to get a better view of the grounds and to take my customary selfie. The iron fence around the Capitol was erected around the Capitol in 1875 to keep livestock out. I don't think any livestock is going to randomly come around those parts anymore. The Nevada State Capitol's original construction was completed on May 1st, 1871, and it has had 4 major changes since then. In 1905, the state added the octagonal building directly behind the Capitol to serve as a library, but it now houses the governor's press corps. In 1913, additions were made to the north and south wings. In 1917, the Alaskan marble floors were added along with the door facings and wainscotings, which by the way is just the official name for decorative wooden panels on walls. And in 1977, the Capitol went through a 4-year, $6 million renovation after 3 independent engineering firms determined that the existing structure was structurally unsound. 2 things to note about Nevada's legislatures. First, Nevada does not have a House of Representatives. They are one of 5 states that call their larger chamber, which is usually called the House of Representatives, an assembly. Second, Nevada is one of 3 states where their legislatures, in this case their Senate and Assembly, is located in a separate building. Alabama is another one of those states. So only 5 key government official offices, including the governor and lieutenant governor's office, are located in the Capitol. And now finally, the tour. This Capitol building is probably as small as the historic Florida State Capitol, which is very likely why the legislatures have a separate building. Unlike the Colorado and Georgia state capitals, visitors could go right through the front door. And like the Wyoming state capitol, which I visited during my next Capitol hunt trip after this one, there are no metal detectors at the front entrance, but there is a security desk. Shortly after I entered the building, one of the staff members suggested that I jump into the tour that was about to start for a high school group. So that's what I did. at first. I broke off from the group after they made it into the building and I started my usual self-guided tour. It really is not much to this Capitol. It has been essentially turned into a museum. On the first floor, when you make a right from the entrance, you will find the Secretary of State's suite down the hall. And as you turn left, you will find the Governor's suite down the hall. As you walk up to the second floor, you'll find a few more government official offices in the old chambers for the Supreme Court, Senate, and Assembly. The old Senate chamber is now Battleborn Hall, which houses an exhibit on Nevada's history. The old Assembly chamber is now set up as a meeting room. Then you'll find a walkway to the annex that was constructed in 1905, which is now a media room. Surprisingly, it's the only room in the Capitol that has a visible rotunda. Unlike previous Capitol buildings I visited, the internal central dome area is not visible for public consumption. It was at one point, but it was covered by the new second floor ceiling addition during the 1977 renovation. But that didn't stop me from asking to go see it. So one of the Capitol building staff walked me up to the old dome so I can get a better view and, of course, my selfie. It's a shame the dome area is not part of public tours. It gives a great view of the historic Kings Canyon Road, which goes through the mountains and leads right to Lake Tahoe. Last thing I'd say about this trip is I couldn't go to Carson City, Nevada without visiting the Bunny Ranch for a selfie. If you don't know, the Bunny Ranch is one of a select few legal brothels in the United States made famous because of the publicity it has gotten over the years. Specifically, I wanted to check out the Bunny Ranch because I remember learning about legal brothels on an episode of HBO's documentary series, Real Sex. I was a teenager and was probably supposed to be asleep, but that didn't stop me from watching an episode about Nevada's now defunct Cottontail Ranch. The Bunny Ranch was made famous later after HBO's Cat House documentary and then a TV series that aired in the early 2000s. So prostitution in the United States is only legal in the state of Nevada, but in the state of Nevada, only in a few of its many counties. Like it's illegal in the counties that include Reno and Las Vegas, but not illegal in counties right outside of these cities. According to the Prostitution in Nevada Wikipedia page, there is 21 brothels in the state of Nevada. I don't know how the state does it. For example, Carson City bans brothels, but I only had to drive 10 minutes to get to the Bunny Ranch in the next county over. The politics that's involved in keeping brothels open or closed must be overwhelming. Maybe I should watch the Cat House series to see what Hoff, the owner of the Bunny Ranch, shares about it. Anyway, after a quick tour of the ranch, I took off and made my way to the Reno Greyhound bus station where my most dramatic travel to a Capitol building occurred so far. You're definitely going to want to hear this story. In the meantime, I really hope you enjoyed my Capitol tour. If you're interested in seeing my next tour or any of my future tours, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you'll see those tours pop up in the feed once they're released. Until then, always remember, Go out and go travel. You have everywhere to go see.